about less than 2 weeks away, Ryan. You think the team's inching ever closer is going to be ready on September 2nd?
I do, man. I think we're ready. We're getting guys back that were a little bit dinged up. Got guys, we had a really good rejuvenation weekend. So they're out there fresh today. Obviously had Monday off with first day of classes. Look fast, look sharp, both physically and mentally. This was a really good practice. I was really happy with it.
What did you learn about your team last week where now you're starting to develop a depth chart and things like that? It gets to that point of the season.
I've learned that they believe in what we're doing and they believe in each other. We've asked them to do some things that they haven't done in the past. And they just kind of rolled with it, fought through it, and I think we're better because of it. So, I've learned that when we are paying attention to the details, we're going to be pretty damn good.
What's the one area of the team that's maybe impressed you the most, or has there been one area?
I've been really impressed with the progress of the offensive line, impressed with the understanding of the scheme on defense, and then obviously impressed with Hudson Card.
As far as the cornerbacks are concerned, you have some transfers that are very likely to play. What's been their progress in getting ingrained in what you want to do defensively and just getting used to being in a new program?
Yeah, I've been really impressed with their understanding of when we can be aggressive, when we got to play with depth. Them diving into because the scheme is a little bit different than what they're used to. So trusting the technique that we're teaching in Indy, that stuff is showing up in 11-on-11, and that's when you got their attention. So they've steadily progressed. I'm happy they're here. Obviously, I think it was an improvement. They came in and some guys left, and it's because they're good players. So I'm glad they're here.
Jabari Brown's no longer with the program.
No, sir.
Is there Obviously, Jamal went down a couple weeks ago. Who are some of the guys in that room that have kind of stepped up in his absence? The guys that were already here, that room was deep anyways. So obviously would have loved to have Jamal. Like you guys will see next year, man. That dude, he's special. I think it speaks volumes. Like the guys in that group were talking about how special he was or he is. But luckily that was probably our most deep position. And so, we're happy with the guys we got, and I don't think there'll be a drop-off in production from what we'll see this fall.
Are there a few things you're looking to focus on your last few days before you get into season prep?
So this is like, we're treating this week like it's a bye week. So we'll do some good on good, early on. We'll start sprinkling in some Fresno State, in the middle to the end of the week. And then Sunday will be like a Tuesday practice. And then, Tuesday and Wednesday will be a combination of a normal Tuesday and a normal Wednesday.
We've seen a lot of highlights of Jaron Tibbs. What does he add into this team just from a playmaker standpoint?
Yeah, Jaron is he's going to be special. Obviously he's a freshman, so there's some freshman mistakes just in like the details of the depth of routes, certain steps, reading coverages, things like that of that nature. But when the ball's in the air, it's his, and you love the confidence, you love the athleticism and body control, and his confidence going in attacking the football.
Any update on Gus Hartwig and Josh Kaltenberger?
Yeah, both the guys are progressing as we thought they would. Gus has really been attacking his rehab and ramped it up here lately. And then Kaltenberger, I think, is ahead of schedule. So, we'll see if he's ready week 1. But if he's not, it'll be ready week 2, no doubt.
Ryan, you mentioned when you were talking about the corners playing with aggression or playing with depth. In layman's terms, for the defense overall, what do you want to see in those realms? Is that a down and distance thing?
It's within the call. Like obviously, formation tendencies and down and distance will give you an idea of what to expect from the offense. But knowing the level of aggression or the level of caution that you got to play with, it comes from understanding the scheme and where you're upset.
Overseeing the secondary is something you did a lot of as a coordinator and previously in your career. What's it been like passing that torch to Grant, and how do you think he's done in that role?
Oh, he's done awesome. That he's been with me since I was at Mizzou, so he understands exactly what the standard is and understands exactly the coaching points on all the fine-tuned details. So I'm happy as hell that he's here because it allows me to be a head coach. And he's done a phenomenal job with those guys. To a man, I think the safeties appreciate and respect the knowledge he has of the game, the knowledge he has of the scheme. He's just a great human being. Like, he's a genuine person and competitive as hell when it comes to all things competition. But it's just an exemplary model of what it means to be a good husband, a good father, and a good man in the community.
Hey, what will you do on game day, Ryan? I mean, you'll have a headset on. You're not going to call the defense. How involved will you be with the offense? I mean,
I'll kind of be what Kane was for me. I'll try to be that for Coach Kane. And just, if I see something that they're doing on offense, just relaying that message. And if I see where there was a schematic or a technique there on defense, I'll relay that message. But a lot of the way we've structured practice is just putting the ball down and playing. Because as much as the players get practice at understanding situations and being aware of where you're at on the field and what the down and distance is, it also helps as a staff. I remember as a play caller, I used to hate scripting plays because now that's not game, it's not real. And so scrimmages and live action with the ball was always beneficial for me as a play caller because it put me in those situations, and that was my practice. And so because we've got two new schemes and two coordinators that have experience coordinating, but haven't done it here, I thought we've structured practice that way where they've just been able to call it, and I'll go back and watch film, and he's making the same calls I would have made. And it's starting to take it and run with it and make it his own too. So that's good to see, because you always got to be ever evolving in this game. You can't just do the same thing every year. And so I'm happy as hell that Kane's here, and I got full confidence that he'll do a great job.
Graham's going to run the offense all by himself.
Yeah, Graham's calling the offense, Kane's calling the defense, and if there's issues that I see, I'll address. I'm not afraid to voice my opinion. But if there's, I'm not going to coach things that I don't know either. So I'm really happy that they're here and they've been doing a hell of a job so far.
You mentioned being happy with Hudson, and that goes without saying, but how beneficial was it to get him here for the spring to where he's ahead of schedule now?
Yeah, it was hugely beneficial, not only for a schematic standpoint, but just the locker room as well. They got to know him, he got to know them, got to really gel, and anytime you're getting transfers in, the thing you worry about is just the chemistry. Even it doesn't matter how old guys are, it's just they got to come together and try to accomplish something as a team. I think it's telling the way he went in and went to work. He was by far the most vote getter for captain. So that's voted on by his peers, and so that was good to see.
Who else is going to be your captains this year?
Am I free to say it right now?
Who's that?
The captain situation?
It's up to you. If you want to. Put it out later.
Yeah, so Hudson Card, Sanusi Kane, TJ Sheffield, Nick Scorton, and Gus Hartwig.
How has Hudson handled rapport with his receivers through camp? What's his method of?
Yeah, it really was the rapport through the summertime. Those guys came out and had player run practices that he sort of led, and which made going into fall camp super easy because everybody understood the scheme and timing of the routes and where the ball needs to be placed. What routes need to be cut off based on coverage, all that kind of stuff. And he spearheaded that deal, and so it was hugely important for him to gain a rapport and some chemistry with the White House.
Anything else? All right, thanks, Coach.